What is good, YouTube? Merry Christmas to all the people that watch this video, whether it's now or in the future. And shout out to all the subscribers that continue to subscribe, continue to like, continue to share, continue to buy merchandise, show love and support in any way that they can. And I appreciate all of it. Blessing to make another Christmas, and it's good that I'm going to give you guys something to enjoy as my Christmas gift to y'all. So hopefully y'all enjoy it. Hopefully y'all really have a good day. And let's get into it. So now James Harden, he went from having a preferred destination being Brooklyn. Obviously that hasn't happened because they feel like they can't get a good enough package. They made the trade for John Wall. They bring in DeMarcus Christian Wood, guys that play well off Harden, and can play better than Westbrook did with them. And on top of that, got bigs that can rebound, space the floor, and make plays. So they got an interesting team. I don't look at them as a championship contender, whether they had Westbrook or with this current roster. But they still are a dangerous team if James Harden is locked in and focused and plays the way he's been playing. You're a guaranteed playoff team if Harden is playing his A game. Wall is one of the best competitors. Christian Wood is perfect for both of those guys to play off of. And at the end of the day, it is teams that he can go to that on paper will be better. But you got to take into account that during a regular season, you got to learn and grow because you guys never played with each other before. Plus, you got to learn a new system. Plus, you got to get adjusted. Plus, they still may make moves and trades because the trade deadline isn't over. So, when I look at Harden, a lot of people question him because of his fit and his play style. Can he play with any player? Can he change his game? Will he be willing to change his game for fit purposes? And it's tough, as we know, as if this is your team, this is your franchise, and they building the team around how you play and your style. Then to me, at the end of the day, that's what a franchise player usually does. Now that he wants out Houston, they have to give him up eventually if he's causing all the chaos that he is now, and he's not really playing as hard as he's supposed to. Kind of make you look bad and him look bad because you're keeping him and he's not playing well, and that does hurt his value. The thing that everybody always brings up is the 2 years. They don't have to trade James Harden right away because it's not like he's going to be a free agent anyway, and they don't have the offers that they want. They're not just going to jeopardize their team and their future just to get rid of James Harden when he is one of the best players, top five in the league, and the best shooting guard in the league. So from that perspective, it makes sense. I understand that. We've seen the same thing happen with Anthony Davis. He started doing some chaotic things and childish things, and they didn't trade him, and they ended up getting a pretty good package from the Lakers that got them an all-star caliber player in Brandon Ingram, plus guys like Lonzo Ball and Josh Hart and some other things that made it possibly worthwhile in the future, and gave them somebody that can really help Zion out, as Drew Holiday is now going off the team too. So to me, when I look at this situation, there's two teams that Harden showed interest in possibly going to. Is my Boston Celtics and video game Dame, a player that put him out before when he had Dwight Howard. Even though James Harden had more success being All NBA first team multiple times and All Star, obviously being a scoring champion 3 straight seasons, and on top of that, going to the Western Conference Finals twice, one with Dwight Howard as his second best player, one with Chris Paul, even becoming the number one team in the entire NBA and taking the Golden State Warriors to 7 games while also being up 3-2 on the KD Warriors, which sounds crazy, but that was actually reality. That's how good those teams was back in the day. So Harden has had more success than what people have gave him credit for, especially because he does play in the Western Conference. But it is very interesting when you look at the fact that him and Dame could be dangerous. I feel like he would be an upgrade over CJ. And I always felt like the biggest problem with the Blazers was CJ and Dame don't elevate their games enough in the postseason to make them get to the finals. Like they did get to the Western Conference Finals, but they did get swept by the Golden State Warriors, and they didn't even have KD in that series, and they took care of them. And Dame and CJ hasn't been a dominant duo. They have made it to the playoffs every year. Last year they was on the brink of missing it, but they was able to put it together and get there. But they only won one game, and Dame got injured, and they was done. So I do feel personally that it is a ceiling on a Dame and CJ backcourt, and I do feel like James Harden is a huge upgrade over CJ. In my personal opinion, and the reason why I bring up CJ is because he will be that Ben Simmons, that guy that can come in and be a 20 plus point scorer while also being a good playmaker and shooter that can complement a guy like Wall because of his ability to handle the ball, knock down threes, plus being able to also score whenever he needs to. And he is a guy that can step up in clutch moments. Plus, you get some more pieces to balance out the trade. And then you're looking at a Rockets team that isn't terrible, but will definitely be a competitive team, possibly even fighting for a play-in, depending on how well they gel and how well they use Christian Wood and what Steven Silas chooses to do and what pieces they do get. So I do think it's smart for Portland to try to go for it eventually. Dame and CJ are not no longer in the young 20 up and coming era as they are now older, and they are, to me, not a championship team this year, even with all the talent that they have amassed this offseason. So to me, they eventually going to have to go for it. I always told you, and I told my subscribers this each and every year, Dame and CJ only going to take you so far. Eventually, you're going to have to trade one of them. You're going to trade Dame or you're going to trade CJ. And they have showed a lot of loyalty and support to both, but they also have been stuck in the mud with both. So it will be interesting to see how a Dame and James Harden backcourt will work. And they still do have Robert Covington at that small forward position, who has already played with Dame. I mean, who already has played with James and fit pretty well with them. And they still would most likely have Nurkic to anchor that defense and be their inside force. But they will lose some depth and probably even Simons, who would possibly be interesting too, because I don't really think you'll really want too many of their picks, so you'll probably take some of their young talent, which isn't terrible because you rather get something that actually makes sense. Because Simons can play, Zach Collins and those guys can play. Plus, you get a guy like CJ. It's not that bad of a return. Is it the greatest? No, but it ain't going to make you the worst team. It's just going to make you a team that isn't a contender. But at the same time, you can also flip those guys into something else possibly down the road if you're the Rockets. Now, when you look at it from the Celtics perspective, I wouldn't do this at all. We do need more offense. Our offense has become stagnant, but Tatum and Harden play very, very similar. Offensively, so I don't really see that being a recipe for success in the playoffs when you have two guys taking tough shots throughout the whole game, and then you're relying on them to consistently make those shots in a 7 game series against the best players and the best teams in the league. I don't think that's a championship recipe. So I'd rather keep Jaylen Brown and Smart just because they are good to great offensive players when they're hitting, but they are way significantly better engaged lockdown defenders for their position. Plus, they're still under 25. So to me, they still have room to improve and grow. They're not James Harden, but Harden isn't going to take them to that next level because he's just going to add more scoring, but it's not going to make them the team that can win the title unless they do make another move, which is still possible because we do know Danny Ainge. But will a duo of James Harden and Jason Tatum be enough to take you to the next level? Because that's what this trade all about. Trading for Harden is going to get you to that next level, and that's why I didn't really care about him going to Philly, because I don't think trading Ben Simmons to get Harden was going to make Philly a championship team, and I don't really feel that way about Boston because of what you will have to get rid of to bring him in. Portland is more interesting because I feel like he would upgrade them depending on what they had to give up with CJ. I feel like he would upgrade them, but I still don't look at him as that piece that will make them legitimate championship contenders because they do have teams like the Clippers that match up well against them, and even the Lakers, like we seen last year, will match up against them very well too. But it will make them more dangerous, and it would put Portland in a situation where they would be one piece away from actually being able to win the title. But the question will be, will they be able to get that piece? Boston, to me, they on a different time plan. As Harden, I don't see him staying after those 2 years is up in Boston. We've seen the same thing happen with Gordon. We've seen the same thing happen with Kyrie. We've seen the same thing happen with Al Horford. You come in, you get your money, you play a game, and then if you don't get to that title level, you leave anyway. So I don't see a situation where James Harden in his 30s will want to stay with Boston and Tatum if they don't get over that hump. I would see him possibly leaving too, which hurts if you get rid of Jaylen Brown, who's on a long-term contract. Same with Marcus Smart and same with Tatum, and they all in the same age group and all on the same timeline. And then you get rid of them. If you get rid of Kimba and something else, I can see that happening. But if you're giving up Brown and your defensive players, I wouldn't do that for Harden, just because that's the position that you need to be able to defend in the NBA, which is the wing positions and the guard positions if you want to win a title. And I don't think Boston is that far off already from winning the title if they add the right piece in that front court. I don't think they need guard help. I think they mostly need a dominant center that can really be an elite defender and elite rebounder, and also a guy that can put the ball in the basket from time to time. I don't think they need another wing. I think they need a big that can really take them over the top, especially if Kimba can get healthy. But eventually they are going to have to lose Brown or Smart because it's not going to be able to afford all of them once Tatum contract does kick in, which will be next season. Other than that, let me know what you agree with, you disagree with. Feel free to leave comments in the comment section below. I read every comment. I love and enjoy the comments y'all leave. Also, check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. You can also buy merchandise that's exclusively on my Facebook page. You can customize the hat and the shirt the way you want it to be. You can change the color of the shirt, change the color of the logo, and make it how you want to be. Message me and get it shipped, and I get it shipped out to you. Not only that, you can buy merchandise that's exclusively only on my spread shirt. I upload a video every single day, sometimes more than that, and I have over 2,000. So if you like this video, check out my older ones. Not only that, if you also like this video, I offer content from breakdowns of players, legends, rookies, summer league coverage, free agency coverage, trade deadline coverage, discussions of the hottest topics just like this. Also top 10 lists, season previews, and playoff predictions. But not only that, I do it every single day, and I have over 2,000 videos. Other than that, hope you guys have a good Merry Christmas. Enjoy your family. I love y'all. Thanks for the love and support. Thanks for watching, and enjoy y'all Christmas, and I'll be back tomorrow.